I rise today in strong support for the Respect for Marriage Act, bipartisan and bicameral legislation to enshrine into law a fundamental freedom, the right to marry whomever you choose. It was 13 years ago, Chairman Nadler, along then Representative, now Senator Tammy Baldwin, Senator Dianne Feinstein, and others introduced a bill by the same name to repeal the Defense of Marriage Act. Defense of marriage, proposed by somebody who had been married 3 times. We don't know which marriage he was defending. And today, we will finally achieve that long-held goal. By the way, I don't care how many times somebody's married. I care about how they try to impose their hypocrisy on others.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Nancy Pelosi just roasted GOP hypocrite Bob Barr, a congressman who pushed the anti-gay marriage bill that the GOP christened the so-called Defense of Marriage Act. She said, defense of marriage, proposed by somebody who had been married 3 times. We don't know which marriage that he was defending, adding, I don't care how many times somebody's married. I care how they try to impose their hypocrisy on others. And that is absolutely spot on.
The far-right 6-3 majority on the Supreme Court is on a rampage against basic freedoms.
In the wake of the Supreme Court's overturning of Roe versus Wade, the doors have been swung wide open for unelected judges to further strip protections from the American people.
And on the day the Supreme Court decided we had equality rights for marriage in this country, a bunch of us stood in front of the court and sang the national anthem. Because it's a beautiful thing when your country catches up to you. Whether or not every American, despite their race or their sexuality, has the freedom to marry the person they love. It's a simple choice.
The party of family values certainly never exhibits any values themselves. The party of Bible thumpers is surely made up of the most vile heathens the world has ever seen. And you couldn't locate conservative values with a microscope inside the party made up strictly of business cheats, white-collar criminals, and greedy billionaire elites. Remember, they anointed Donald Trump as their paradigm of family values. Their beloved fascist father figure, most recent loving action was to turn his first wife's death into a fundraising campaign. How traditional and compassionate. Take Ted Cruz as another great example, the most hated man in the history of the Senate, the guy who flees off to Mexico every time his state actually needs him. Nobody wants to be around this guy because the truth is nobody wants to be around any Republican office holder. It's hard to make friends when you see all people merely as opportunities to either cheat, bribe, extort, con, or swindle. When avarice consumes your whole heart, you've got nothing left for people and nothing left even for their own families. The only family feeling within Republican political circles is the dynamic of the crime family. It's a dog-eat-dog world of obedience until opportunity. They shut their mouths and play complicit with the crimes of their overlords until the moment they can lead mutiny and take lead of the evil enterprise themselves. That's the interplay with Donald Trump's corrupt circle. And we're getting a heck of a peek into the horror show through the January 6 hearings. Sadly, it's the only type of pseudo-family structure Republicans see any use for. And facts bear this out. Look at the scandals that absolutely plague nearly every Republican politician. This is a party filled with pedophiles, perverts, scoundrels, cheats, and abusers. They have no foothold of family values at all. In fact, they should just come out and say it. They are simply just anti-gay. They bank on the idea that there are people that will vote for perverts and pedophiles simply because they hate the gay community. That can never be true in America, and we must make sure that it never becomes true. We must make sure that hatred can never be a winning issue in the land of the free. And Pelosi has it right in terms of looking for those people imposing their hypocrisy on the public. Sadly, when it comes to politics, words are often hollow things, and within Republican politics, words are outright contradictions. Baseless sentiments are their vernacular. We've got to look past the one-liners and take a look at a politician's motivations, actions, and their track record. Don't allow them to con you with idiot labels like the Defense of Marriage Act. Read the actual bill and figure out for yourself or what they're defending, if anything at all. Chances are you'll find Republican bills only serve number one, the Republican politician who authorized it. And that's an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.